Welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks. In studio with us this morning is Miss Jerrylee Young, and she's a financial analyst from the Financial Services Commission. And of course, she's pursuing her master's in corporate finance at UWI Mona. Welcome to the show, Jerrylee.
Thank you, Neilson.
All right. But we got to tell them that it's not because you work at the FSC while you're here, or because you're pursuing your master's at UWI. You're here because you're winner of the Research JC Market Research Competition for Q1.
Yes.
How you managed to do that? Beat out all of the other bright people?
Well, it's tremendously joyful for me to have won this competition, but I did that basically by sticking to what my lecturer would have taught me at MSBM, that is how to value local and international companies. And as such, she motivated us to, well, when I say us, there are others of my colleagues that have entered the JC Market Research Competition. So she basically pushed us to enter.
And this would have given you, as students of UWI, Mona School of Business.
Right.
So you're getting the theory, you're looking at the thing. I know this competition would have given you a hands-on kind of approach to doing research and analyzing companies and so on.
Yes. So it's basically the practical aspect for me, and it puts the icing on the cake, where in terms of you're learning the stuff, but then putting it into action is also another thing.
Absolutely. All right, talk to me about the competition itself. So the stock exchange normally invites applications. How did you get in?
So basically, the Jamaica Stock Exchange, they invite applicants for the market research competition on a quarterly basis. And basically, my lecturer, as I said, she encouraged us to enter for this for this quarter. The company that we looked at is NCB Financial Group, which we basically valued the stock and suggested a recommendation such as buy or hold.
All right.
Or sell.
Before you go into the recommendation, and I know that's what the viewers want to hear, should they buy or sell this stock?
Well,
but before you go into that, tell us a little bit about the work behind the scenes in valuing this company, what you had to go through.
So basically, there's research involved, basically finding certain information about the company, their financial statements, getting the interest rates and different rates, working out the weighted average cost of capital. So I did a discounted free cash flow valuation in which I had to basically research to find a lot of information to get my weighted average cost of capital, capital asset pricing model, as well as other things that I used to do the DCF valuation. I also did a PE and PB valuation as well for NCB Financial.
You have to remember, not all are bright like you know. So you did a DCF, that's what? Discounted cash flow.
Yes.
P what?
PE valuation.
That's price to earnings.
Yes, and PB valuation,
price to book. Right. And so all of these are doing different comparisons in terms of the numbers that would have come out on the financial statements.
Right.
All right. Talk to me about how NCB look in terms of some of these ratios.
Okay, so for the DCF valuation, so we know that NCB was trading at about $71 per share most recently. When I did the DCF valuation, I came up with a valuation of over $200. So it's basically saying that right now the share is trading at $71, which is below its intrinsic valuation. So that presents
that's a significant discount.
Yes, significant discount, and it presents an opportunity for investors to invest. So that's basically
so using the DCF model, that's a discounted cash flow model.
Discounted free
You're
cash flow.
saying NCB really is valued over $200.
Yes.
But it's trading at
$71 per share. On that basis,
you know what bring brokers here and none of them tell with this?
on that basis, I recommend a buy for that stock.
All right. But what about the other ratios that you talk about? Give us an insight onto those if you can remember them off.
So the PB valuation,
that's the price to book.
it's close. It was trading close to its book value. I think it was 1 time. So, and that could be an indication that the stock is currently undervalued based on other metrics that I would have compared.
So in terms of a book value, the stock is undervalued.
Right.
And in terms of the discounted cash flow model, again, it shows that the current trading price, at that price, the stock is undervalued.
Yes, it's a discount.
Right, so it has potential to grow. What about the price earnings that you look at, the PE model?
Well, the PE ratio is also giving the same indication. I can't remember the exact number right now, but it's all 3 of them are
All
giving
three
the same.
are indicating that NCB, based on where it's trading, could be undervalued and has the potential in terms of scope for the price of the stock to go up.
Right.
All right. And you therefore recommended a buy.
Yes, I did.
Talk to us about what else is there anything outside of these ratios that you looked at for NCB, anything else that you liked, what you would have presented to the team that reviewed your analysis?
Okay, so basically I would have analyzed their entire financial statements over the past 5 years, and I would have seen that they have a strong asset base. They're highly profitable. They're liquid. They can meet all their obligations when they fall due, basically. And basically, they have a lot of reserves as well, which is important to weather financial storms such as the financial crisis or pandemic or anything, external events.
Like the pandemic just passed.
Yes.
Well, I know recently NCB has been in the news. It's interesting that you're doing that valuation now. Many people would have spoken to the matter of dividend payments came up, and the company wasn't paying dividends. Did you look at that at all?
Yeah, that is definitely a factor. So the non-payment of dividends coming out in the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic is definitely a factor. So we see the share price of NCB going down. It's basically it's negative sentiment coming from investors because they're not getting the dividend payment nor capital appreciation, and they depend on those two things to get a return on their investment.
So essentially what you're saying is that with a stock like NCB, and basically when we look at stocks, one of the things we're told is by bright people like you, the analysts, are that stocks thrive on fundamentals, but they also thrive on just perception, how people view them.
That's true.
And what you're saying is the stock price could have fallen based on the perception of what was happening.
Sentiment coming
Negative
from
sentiment.
The market.
And essentially the fundamentals are still strong based on the numbers that you're quoting.
Yes.
How then so you're at the FSC and you look at their books and you look at their numbers and so on and the different numbers that comes across to you. How then do you enjoy actually getting out there and getting at the numbers and doing analysis like these?
Well, it comes from a place of passion for me. So I've been passionate about finance and accounting from third form. So basically, it's the passion that is driving what I'm basically doing.
And you said from third form.
Yes,
No,
sir.
that's kind of strange. Jamaicans don't like numbers. How you get we don't like maths and all these Walipa numbers that they're throwing around at us? How you get to that place?
Well, as I say, it's passion. It just
It's intrinsic.
It's just something that I love.
And therefore we're likely to see somebody like yourself continuing in this field and maybe looking to grow and expand your wings into finance and the whole works.
Definitely. I hope to become a chartered financial analyst. That is a CFA, which I'll pursue once I complete my master's.
So you've gone through the first part of it. You're now doing your master's, and you're still not going to be satisfied. You want to go and do CFA, a
Yes,
chartered financial analyst. And why would you want to pursue something like that?
As I say, I'm passionate about finance and accounting, so and it's interesting to me analyzing numbers. So that's why I want to become a chartered financial analyst.
Will you be entering the second quarter of this competition?
Definitely, most definitely.
And you think you're gonna beat out the other analysts again?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
I'll have you know they'll be watching this interview, and therefore they'll be coming very hard for you this time around. Talk to me about your foray in looking at stocks. Is it your view that, you know, people should look at these things as investments? People should examine all the different things, financial education. Is it important for general populace?
Yes, financial literacy is important for the general populace, because I realize a lot of persons, they're studying a lot of different areas, but there's one area that most persons are weak on, and it's financial literacy. So they're getting the big job, they have basically the qualifications, but they don't know how to manage basically some persons. I'm not going to say everybody, the funds that they're receiving, etc.
Okay, so you basically saying, even what I understand you to be saying is that even for your own personal gains, so having earned all this money, you need to make sure that you understand how to manage it.
Manage it, right.
Or at the very least, know where to go to take the right decisions.
To invest it and to make the right decisions, right.
So past the one cocoa full basket, we're now going for many baskets.
Right, right.
Talk to me about the Mona School of Business and the course you're now pursuing. It's Masters in Corporate Finance?
Masters of Science in Corporate Finance.
Corporate Finance. How is that different from the regular accounting?
Okay, so whereas accounting is basically the financial statements, how to prepare and analyze, corporate finance deals with more the valuation of companies, how companies are financed, etc., and investing. Okay.
And you see these are as important next steps in your career?
Definitely.
And in terms of where we're going now with as the Jamaican stock market, so we've been down so far this year, your analysis of NCB tells you that this is an undervalued company. Do you think that investors should be taking closer look at the market itself, at the deeper look inside the companies to see whether are we making the right decision by staying away?
Yes, they definitely need to basically, well, some persons are not adept to looking at the financial statements, but that is a very important step in knowing if you should or should not invest in a particular company. So looking at the numbers is important, and reading news relating to the company, etc., is very important.
All right, I get it from you. Would we need more analysts like yourself to be guiding us along the right path?
Definitely.
As investors?
Definitely, because we're looking at the numbers in depth over the years, historical, and we are also projecting into the future based on information that we would have received.
All right, great. What's the next step for you? Is it just looking at the competition, mashing up everybody, or growing with the Financial Services Commission?
Well, the next step for me is basically CFA, to become a chartered financial analyst, and basically to improve in the area of finance.
Okay. And you did enjoy first quarter. You think your fellow analysts will be coming to ensure that, given what you've said on this program, they make sure they beat you this time?
I know they're coming, and I'm expecting them, but I'll do what I did for the first quarter, and that is to win.
All right. Thank you very much, Jerrylee. And Jerrylee is saying to all of you analysts out there, don't even think of it. Second quarter, much of the same. She's gonna win. The Jamaica Stock Market Research Competition is hers in this quarter as it was, same it will be in the next quarter. As we always say here on Let's Talk Stocks, we give you information to make better financial decisions. Come back with us tomorrow morning at 9. We'll have another wonderful program lined up for you.